Samnium is a Latin exonym for a region of southern Italy anciently inhabited by the Samnites. Their own endonyms were Safinem for the country and Safinish for the people. The language of these endonyms and of the population was the Oscan language. However, not all the Samnites spoke Oscan, and not all the Oscan speakers lived in Samnium. The ancient geographers were unable to relay a precise definition of Samnium's borders. Moreover, the areas it included vary depending on the time period considered. The main configurations of the borders it had during the floor route of the Oscan speakers, from about 600 BC to about 290 BC, when it was finally absorbed by the Roman Republic. This originary Samnium should not be confused with the later territory of the same name. Rome's first emperor, Augustus, divided Italy into 11 regions. Although these entities only served administrative purposes, and were identified with the sole numeral, by scholarly convention the Regia IV has been dubbed Samnium. Ancient Samnium had actually been split up into 3 of the Augustan regions. The name survives in Italian today, but it defines only a small portion of what it once was, virtually only the province of Benevento. Etymology. Etymologically, the name Samnium is generally recognized to be a form of the name of the Sabines, who were Umbrians. From Safinim, Sabinus, Sabalus and Samus, an Indo-European root can be extracted, *sabh, which becomes Sabin Latino Faliscan and Safinosco Umbrian, Sabini and *Safinish. The eponymous god of the Sabines, Sabus, seems to support this view. The Greek terms, Saunitai and Saunitus, remain outside the group. Nothing is known of their origin. At some point in prehistory, a population speaking a common language extended over both Samnium and Umbria. Salmon conjectures that it was Common Italic and puts forward a date of 600 BC, after which the common language began to dialectize. This date does not necessarily correspond to any historical or archaeological evidence, developing a synthetic view of the ethnology of proto-historic Italy is an incomplete and ongoing task. The linguist, Julius Pocorni, carries the etymology somewhat further back, conjecturing that the A was altered from an O during some prehistoric residence in Illyria. He derives the names from an O-grade extension, *swobho, of an extended E-grade *swebho, of the possessive adjective, *swe, of the reflexive pronoun, *she, oneself. The result is a set of Indo-European tribal names, Germanic Subi and Sennonus, Suanus, Celtic Senwans, Slavic Serbs and Sorbs, Italic Sabelli, Sabini, etc., as well as a large number of kinship terms. The general concept is, our own kith and kin, Pocornis, von eigener Art, Gesamtheit der eigenen Luther, Liebe, Sippagenossen, Sippenangehorigen, and the like. Historical geography. Samnium mostly lay on the Apennine area. It was delimited by Latium to the north, by Lucania to the south, by Campania to the west, and by Apulia to the east. The principal cities of the region were Boveramum, renamed Bovianum by Latins, and Maleventum, which was later renamed Beneventum by the Romans. For most of their history the Samnites were landlocked, but during a brief period they controlled parts of both coasts of the Italian peninsula. The Samnites were composed of at least 4 tribes: the Pentra, the Caracena, the Cordini and the Hupini. They may have later been joined by the Frentani. The federal capital of the league they formed was Bovianum, except for a short period between the 4th and 3rd centuries BC, when it was Aquilonia, destroyed by the Romans in 293 BC, whose probable location today is modern Agnona, in Molise, though it has also been identified with Aquilonia, in the province of Avellino. History. The earliest written record of the people is a treaty with the Romans from 354 BC, which set their border at the Liris River. Shortly thereafter the Samnite Wars broke out. They won an important battle against the Roman army in 321 BC, and their imperium reached its peak in 316 BC after further gains from the Romans. By 290 BC, the Romans were able to break the Samnites' power after some hard-fought battles. The Samnites were one of the Italian peoples that allied with King Pyrrhus of Epirus during the Pyrrhic War. After Pyrrhus left for Sicily, the Romans invaded Samnium and were crushed at the Battle of the Craneater Hills. But after the defeat of Pyrrhus, the Samnites could not resist on their own and submitted to Rome. They joined and aided Hannibal during the Second Punic War. The Samnites were the last tribal group holding out against Rome in the Social War. By 82 BC, the Roman dictator Lucius Cornelius Sulla conducted an ethnic cleansing campaign against this most stubborn and persistent of Rome's adversaries and forced the remnant to disperse. So great was the destruction brought upon them that it was recorded that the towns of Samnium have become villages, and most have vanished altogether. Prominent Samnites. Rulers of the Samnites: Gaius Pontius, California, 320s BC. Gellius Egnatius, California, 296 BC. Uprising against Sulla: Gaius Papius Mutilus, 90–89, with Pontius Telesinus, Samnite commander to Papius. Roman citizens: Pontius Pilate, the fifth prefect of the Roman province of Judea from AD 26 to 36. Catholic popes: Pope Felix IV. Bibliography: Pocorni, Julius, 1959. Indogermanisches etymologisches Wörterbuch. Leiden. Leiden University Indo-European Etymological Dictionary Project. Salmon, E.T. Samnium and the Samnites. London. Cambridge University Press. Grossman, Lucas, Rom Samni, Tenkrieger. Historische und Historiographische Untersuchung und zu den Jahren 327–290 v. Chr. Ross Cohen, Roman Conquests. Italy.